Actually, Creator's been hemorrhaging too many units.
Yeah, he really
And this
has.
is where I think Zerg can actually smash him with his attack. It's 111 supply to 167. I mean, I know
the army quality is worlds above right now for Armani.
Yeah, not even. In fact, the rocks are still open there. So he just walks in, right? I mean,
yeah, I might.
He could also just hit the second base and then go down to the third base. There's a lot of ways he can do this.
Look at this. He's really late on that pylon wall, too. Like, he needs these pylons already up. Look, he's just going to attack before those get up, and now he has, like, what, one pylon to put photon overcharge on? He has, like, charge not done for Zealots. He's so dead.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I got to say, this is not the most sophisticated StarCraft game we've seen here today.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it does speak for itself. I mean, you have to be very careful with your early units. Protoss is going to try to hold this off here. There's a lot of Zealots coming up right now. Force fields being set up in a decent fashion. 2 Immortals here in the back. Even Roach is attacking around here on the bottom right side of our screen. Ravengers, Hydras just continuing to push forward. There is just not enough Protoss units.
Yeah, there was like a lot of flaws here from Creator.
Yeah, very disappointing showing by him, by the way.
Yeah, like, the thing is, if even one thing had changed, if he had a wall of pylons up above his ramp, like 3 pylons like he was going to make ahead of time, then he might have actually held this. Like, that would have bought him enough time that charge would have finished, and then the Zealot damage output is so much higher. And not to mention, he would have just hit him more with photon overcharges. So, like, a lot of what has actually gone wrong here is the missing of those pylons.
Yeah, that's a big part. Losing those Adepts as well, man.
Yeah,
and
totally.
even some of the Phoenixes picked off. I mean,
yeah,
normally
a lot of things
Protoss
went wrong.
Protoss can always trade effectively, normally, with the Adepts or with Phoenixes, for instance. I mean, like, let's face it. I think Phoenixes are probably the easiest unit to control. Am I wrong about this?
Well, I mean, in certain circumstances, they're quite easy, and some they're hard.
I would say in doing that harass, taking out more workers and stuff and overlords, I think he probably could have done a better job.
Yeah.
But he just lost too much of everything. So, I mean, that base got smashed. I think this one will get smashed as well.
Oh, yeah. There's really not a whole lot here. Does bring down, he has 3 Archons now to add in. He has 3 charge lots now that charge is done. That's not going to really do that much, though, unfortunately. And Corrosive Bile's coming down all over the place. Just going to be able to wipe this all out.
We should see GG and then move into game number 2 here. Creator going to have to play a better game if he wants to move on in this tournament.
Yeah. Well, the Warpins, he might actually clean this up once again.
I don't think
Immortals
so.
are good?
Yeah.
No.
More Roaches coming down.
Yeah.
GG.
Flank.
Very straightforward game.
Yeah, it was. Definitely some mistakes from Creator here. Very solid play by Armani. Just shutting down those Adepts so hard. That kind of shows you that, like, yes, the Adepts are very strong. And, hey, he had to make a hell of a lot of Lings. And if he hadn't caught the Adepts with those Lings, then those Lings lose a little bit of value over time, especially considering he missed drones.
Frustrating moment here for Creator, man.
He really crushed Creator because of this. He caught those, and then Creator just wasn't ready for anything. And it's like, ew.
If you guys want to learn anything from that series, I mean, it's pretty basic. You have to be ready for what Zerg is going to do. That attack is so common. I'm trying to remember games where we haven't seen that.
It's pretty rare.
In PvZ. And then, of course, you got to be careful with your units on the map. Zergs are adapting to the Adept play.
Yeah.
And, you don't always have as much freedom as you think you do. You know, when StarCraft Legacy of the Void just comes out, there's a lot of abusive strats people are doing, but eventually people map it out, and you might be overextending in what you think is an unbeatable strategy. Anyways, game number 2 here in our final best of 5 for the GSL. In the bottom left in the blue, our Protoss player.
진에어 그리닝스 크리에이터.
He has grown up a lot. Look at that.
Yeah, I know, right?
In the upper right in the red, winning game number 1.
삼성 갤럭시 알마니.
I remember when he was just a bag to me. But now he's become such a nice Zerg player.
He was just a fancy handbag, and now that...
An overpriced fancy handbag.
Yes. Have you seen the prices on some of these more expensive handbags that women buy? They're crazy. You can get them for like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I think if you have enough money, you can buy anything for like a lot, you know?
Yeah.
If you're looking to do that.
So hint, hint, you know, when Christmas comes around, Artosis, if you want to get me a nice handbag.
Yeah. Sure, I'll do it.
Okay.
You think it says like Gucci, but it's like Gucci or something.
Like, wait a minute, this is counterfeit.
Yeah.
Oh.
You get it for $10 in the subway.
Oh, no. Cybernetic score coming down now with Protoss going for a fast expand. It's 3 base Zerg. This should size up to be a pretty intense mid-game here.
You know, I'm feeling bad also because the way that you're going to find out about that handbag, Tasteless, you're going to be out with it. You're going to be kind of showing off. You're not going to say anything.
Me and the girls.
Because you're embarrassed, you know, that you have this nice new thing and you have to, like, not tell people that you have it.
I'm waiting for them to notice it, you know, because I don't want to look too braggy.
And they'll keep on, like, looking at it and kind of snickering to each other because they know it's fake.
Yeah.
And you're just going to cry and run out when you find out.
My mascara running down as I run out. So sad. You humiliated me in front of my friends, Dan.
Every sitcom has an episode like that.
Did you ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
God, you would find that so funny, man.
Yeah, you've told me that a lot.
It's really good, man.
I generally never listen to anything you say.
I know. I've been casting you for a long time, and I can confirm this. So we have the Adepts coming out here. Now, hopefully he won't overextend with his own Adept like he did last time.
Yeah, needs to get a little bit of scouting done. Good amount of droning going on. 3 queens about to pop. Single Stargate follow-up here.
Now this is where he checks in to see if there's any drone he can kill. And he should be running, unless he does decide to commit. Nope, he's not going to do it. So here's where he wants to ideally try to shade out. This is a little bit dicey, these Lings on creep.
Oh, and this means he's going to have to... Oh, no, he doesn't have to let it finish because they do run away.
Yeah, if it gets surrounded, there's nothing else you can do. You have to let that finish.
Mm-hmm.
2 more Adepts coming up here. So far, so good. Oracle Tech coming up as well. This is another build we've seen pretty often here for Protoss.
Yeah, we should be seeing that 3rd Nexus at any moment now. We do have Overlord speed about to finish, which is pretty cool. Oh, and he does go ahead and warp them in. Let's shade them in and going right after some of these drones.
Looks like he might be able to get a surround over here.
Surprised he didn't just shade. Like,
yeah.
Like as soon as
what was the deal with that? Even here
was up.
You just always trigger that.
He was microing that the whole time anyways, right? So I don't.
Vader not playing too well here.
I feel like there are a lot of little things wrong. Like the broad strokes are good, but you know.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some questionable moves here when you see him controlling his army.
Ooh, that's good time on that Spore.
Yeah, no kidding. Like the second the Oracle gets there, boom, it's done. Armani looking very strong. I got to say, overall, he just looks better than Creator. Hopefully, Creator can bring some better play this time around.
Well, he's still looking pretty good. And, you know, he lost like a couple of Adepts, but he got some drones. His Oracle isn't dead. He's following up with some Phoenixes anyways, which is, you know, this is a good build that he's doing. The Oracle's going to give him plenty of scouting.
As this game continues, the Oracle now headed down. Going to be planting some traps here, potentially. Nope, just checking around. Just looking around here.
Yeah. Shine is just showing us, like, look, you could put it anywhere there. Oh, look at that. Just targets down those larvae.
Good job there.
I was trying to do that the other day. I kept missing the larvae.
It's not easy to do. It's really not easy to do when you're playing really fast.
I got fat fingers or something.
You got to have the right mouse speed for that.
Yeah. By the way, a second Stargate actually being added on after this. So
yeah, this is cool.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
He's going to be massing Phoenixes off of this. He's going to be driving all the Overlords off the map.
As he should be. And that's a good thing because right now, if I'm Armani, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, he's going 1 Stargate Phoenix.
Yep.
Some Zergs against 2 Stargate Phoenix will definitely make 2 Spores in each base. With 1 Spore, if he comes out with 6, 7 Phoenix, something like that.
He'll kill the entire set of workers.
Oh, man, yeah. He'll
really
kill
not
a
much
lot.
you can do as Zerg about that either.
Well, right now we do have that layer finishing up. Melee attack on the way. Could we see some Lucira-esque play here? We did see Lucira going for that melee attack and utilizing Lings with his lurkers into Ling drops and Baneling drops and whatnot. It was a lot of fun on this map. I thought it was one of the coolest games that we've seen.
The Oracle's coming up now, and he's going to be able to get some drones, it looks like. Good job. Going to get at least 2. And I think that was a smart move to back up. If he tried to get 3, he would have overextended. Hydra Den nearing completion, as is Protos's Robo Bay. So once again, we're seeing this Protoss tech, you know, getting the Phoenixes. They have whatever number of adepts they deem is necessary early on. Then they mass up Phoenixes. We saw some Oracle harassing here as well. Then they get that Robo Bay, start making the Immortals. They get the Zealots with the legs.
Yeah. And that is pretty much the standard. A lot of times we're going to see a second Robo. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that pretty soon here. But this is kind of cool. The Baneling Nest is on the way. And, I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to do drops. I think that ever since he already has Overlord speed, it would be cool, and I think he should. But just having some Banelings to run into the charge lots you basically know are coming. Like, charge lot style is generally considered the strongest style right now in Protoss vs. Zerg. So to kind of almost blindly counter this by just getting that Baneling Nest, I like it a lot.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing more of the meat of the meta coming out now.
Yeah.
Well, we should always expect this to come, and therefore we need to respond to that. We need to prep for that. This game is becoming much less of a dark and mysterious place.
And I have to say, it's so much more interesting than Heart of the Swarm with their meta at the end there.
Yeah, I got to agree.
Where it was just like, okay, so he's going Immortal, Blinkstalker, Sentry. And that was it. It's like, okay, yeah, no, having the charge lots involved, a lot of different unit sets out here, and a lot of different ways that Zergs have been trying to go ahead and counteract this. Now, by the way, that is a lot of Phoenixes. He has really made a lot of Phoenixes.
Yeah, he looks like he... Oh, whoa, 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 gotta be careful. Crater, again, losing perhaps too much. 2 Phoenixes go down, and he'll try to dive in over here. Now, this is going to be some great pickups. Getting a lot of these drones, that's what he needs to be doing here.
Ooh, this was really nice, yeah. Sure, he lost a couple Phoenixes, but killing 10 drones, basically wiping out the economy on that base, very much worth it.
Getting those Lings over there. And Protoss is just staying back on 4 bases. Right now, it's a minor supply lead here for Protoss, 145 to 141. As the Tekken continues, Templar Archives almost done. So we could see storms coming up in here. With Hydra's out, Lurkers are definitely going to be a threat this game as well.
Yeah, the Sky Storm very popular right now as well in the matchup. Quite a few Lurkers popping out. You know, even though Creator has done a good job this game, like he's done some nice harassment, he's secured his 4th base, he really hasn't taken much damage. Sure, there were a couple sloppy moments, but that can all be forgiven because overall, strategically, he's playing well. Armani, I think, is in a position where he's absolutely not going to die to anything for a long time. So we get to see, does Creator realize how to transition?
Oh, man. He's already lost a bunch more Zealots there. I think he poked in too far at that moment. He's got Storm on the way. I mean, there was no need to go that far. But again here, the Phoenix is now coming up, taking out a few more drones. Nicely done. Any drones he gets, it's a good thing. And it looks like he's got the Warp Prism ready. He might, right when he's going to hit maxing out, actually fly that Warp Prism in the main and start warping units into the main to attack. Oh, my God. I didn't even see this was happening until now.
Oh, very cool. That single lurker up there really being an annoyance. Stopping
it's
this
really
whole base
hilarious to
from
watch. These probes barely dodged.
Baneling drop tasteless.
Here we go.
Really cool stuff. Spire on the way, by the way. Wouldn't be surprised if you see some Corruptors there. Helping to pick off Observers and, you know.
Phoenixes and whatever.
Indeed. This is really cool. I really like the way Armani's playing. I really do.
Yeah, he seems to have a very good game.
Creator's playing quite a nice game as well.
Hold up. We got the... Okay, he already is aware.
Ooh,
nicely done. Good reaction speed there.
Yeah, he's got to get his Phoenixes over there.
Oh, my God, but already getting some of those Lings down there. Phoenixes are coming up, but he might be able to drop right over here. Oh!
Oh, only one Baneling does get out. Of course, with that +2 attack. Pretty deadly anyways.
Pretty scary. It's 81 drones to 63 probes. A 5th base being taken for Protoss in the center left. And really good turtling setup here.
I love this.
For Armani. I mean, this is going to be really tough to break.
Just awesome play here from Armani.
You almost need something with like a siege attack to break this.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to break with this type of army. Remember what it looked like when Choya just kept on running into Lucira in the same map,
ugly,
same type of strat?
Yeah.
And, I mean, for a little bit, you can definitely outmaneuver. But you got to be getting harassment damage done. And look at this.
God.
He's not.
we're not seeing the changes we needed to see from Creator here. He's going to try to come in. There is no way he's going to break that.
Absolutely not.
That is airtight, man.
Okay, look at that. He is doing it. He's getting the Fleet Beacon. This is where we saw Choya fall against Lucira. So, absolutely great. He's going to go into Tempest play, probably. I mean, there's always the possibility of going into Carriers, I guess. Carriers are a lot better in Legacy of the Void, but I expect it to be Tempest.
He's coming up now, taking a lot of damage from these lurkers. And Zerg wants to sink his teeth in here.
Ooh, the rare double Fleet Beacon play. He needs carrier attack speed and Phoenix range immediately.
Yeah, we got 2 Fleet Beacons here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man. That's an expensive building, too.
Yes,
it's one of the only ones where you make 2 and you're like, oh, that really was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it's not uncommon to make more than 1. You know, it's a mistake, but still, it's definitely not good. Now, I don't know if you should have had these lurkers up here, not paired with the spine crawlers. That's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Lurkers are scary, but they're not that scary.
Indeed. They need something else with them.
They also need something that's going to be a threat to observers.
All these long-range units are like this, where they just can't be alone. Whether that be Colossus, Siege Tank, Lurker, Tempest, anything like that, it needs backup.
Oh, the Lings are not
look
coming
at
down
that.
here.
He has 1 more left.
Oh, yeah, he does have 1 more in there. Oh, God, drop that, please.
I think he doesn't even realize.
Well, he's going to know now. Hello. Oh, didn't
really
connect
nice.
as well as I thought it was going to. Shutting down that 5th base, again. So even though Creator's taken some losses here, it's not like Armani hasn't made some mistakes. And he's now getting more and more behind on bases.
Yep.
The income here for Creator is getting almost out of control.
Yeah, it really is. Creator's doing a great job of that, but we do have Lings starting to move out across the map. Did he get Adrenaline yet?
I don't know.
I didn't notice, but I think he must
it.
have. He must have. It's just
well,
too important.
we're long. We've been in this long enough. Certainly, you'd think so. Nice job. Actually, going for this Templar and this Pylon,
Ooh,
and shuts that
pylon
down.
there.
Yes. Now, is he going to be able to take out possibly this Nexus here? Almost seems like he just didn't even expect that attack to do as much damage as it's doing. The Lurkers need to burrow, by the way. My God, man, he really doesn't have a lot to help defend this thing.
No, his army is
just
out of the
lose
map
that.
right now. He's making a mothership at the moment, adding a 3rd Stargate as well. Going up here, seeing what he can get done with these Immortals.
Again, an overextension here with these Lurkers. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, he doesn't have any meat with it.
I'm actually really baffled by this. He actually has creep over there. He can move the spine crawlers and spores. Not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah, and look at the bank that we actually have here right now in Armani. He had, during that, 1K minerals and 2.5K gas.
Now he's making 8 Corruptors.
That like fits Infestor for me so well. Like I would love to see just a couple Infestors in there, a couple Vipers perhaps. Throw a Blinding Cloud over those Immortals, make them walk towards your Lurkers. You know, there's a lot of ways that he could have made that even better for himself. But right now, Creator is doing a great job.
More High Templars warping in. You can see Creator's itching for any other way to engage. He can't kill the Zerg in his main, so to speak, but he can run around and try to smash out these expansions. And that's what we've been seeing in this game so far.
Broodlords on the way, Vipers as well. Very important long-term units here. And he's going to have to very carefully take his 4th base now, or 5th base, sorry.
And, yeah, this game's sort of slowed down. We have Broodlords coming out now. And we're getting to the point where they just have these epic endgame armies, man. I mean, we haven't really casted a PvZ quite like this because both players normally can't get this far. Somebody smashes the other one too fast. It also seems like he wants to actually bleed off some of these Zealots so he can get more supply. I mean, at 197, you don't need that many more Zealots. Eventually, Zealots become the worst unit you can have remaining in some situations.
Yeah, they definitely can be.
For a full-on engage. The Broodlords came up. It looks like he's willing to reveal his tech right now. Show just how many Broodlords he's got.
We do have Tempest on the way. Already some Void Rays added into this army. Starting to get those air upgrades, too, on 2 different Cybernetics cores.
I'm guessing he just wants to try to expand to the center right again. I mean, is there really another base that Zerg could actually try to get?
No.
I don't see it.
Definitely not. Like that has to be his next one. He has to expand downwards from there. And the next time he takes it, he has to keep it. His economy is about to run out.
Yeah. I don't like the position Zerg's in. I like the way he's played for some of this game, but I just feel like Protoss, the fact that he got this Broodlord tech means Protoss can expand freely all the way up to the upper left side of the map. I mean, this is not a fast army. If Protoss, if Zerg, excuse me, is going to win this, he has to win with like the most solid push you've ever seen, and I think we might be seeing that right now.
Well, here we go right now, and this is a big concave here for Creator. I think he's just going to cut through everything easily.
Yeah, so many side storms coming down here. Yes, lurkers are very strong underneath Broodlords, but if Storm hits, you know, everything that's just in that area, the whole army in this clumped up Zerg group, it's not going to be enough, and I think that might be the end of this game here. That's like the entire tech that he had. There it is, GG.
Okay, so that game was pretty cool. Like, Creator played quite a nice game. Maybe a couple sloppy little micro mistakes in the beginning, but
that's
overall,
forgivable.
like, really well done. Armani, I really liked the way he was bringing the game with that turtling going on and whatnot. It's just, he was a little bit wasteful with the lurkers. Like, you can't just burrow some lurkers and be like, okay, he won't attack here because I have lurkers. No. He wants to kill your lurkers the second he sees that you don't have beef on top of him. So
that's why he didn't attack initially when there was the spine crawlers and the lurkers. And it was a bit weird because we saw moments where there was creep there. He could have just moved a handful of spines and spores over there.
Yeah, something
Even if
like
you
that.
could just drive the observer out. This happens all the time, especially if I'm playing. I lose the observer. And then I'm like, well, that's it. Now my attack's not going to work.
Totally.
It all comes down to this.
Yeah.
But having a spore there can make it that much more difficult. Even the best make that mistake sometimes.
Well, very cool game, that last one. And now we're tied up 1-1. Could we have all 15 games tonight?
We very well may get that, Artosis. Our next map is Orbital Shipyard, and it's now loaded up. Tied up 1-1. This is Creator versus Armani
GSL.
in game number 3. All right, let's do this. In the upper right, our Protoss player winning game number 2. He is
지네어 그리닝스 크리에이터.
and down in the bottom left in the red, our Zerg player.
삼성 갤럭시 알마니.
With some great early game here, but seemed to be a little bit lackluster once we had finished the tech tree. Built up to an army that seemed very easy for a Creator to take out.
Yeah, it was... just didn't defend his lurkers quite well enough. There's no reason to move them up near that hatchery. You may as well just put the hatchery there naked if you're going to just put like 4 or 5 lurkers alone up there, because that's worse than
he ran up there twice and just took out all the lurkers. I mean, you cannot afford to lose big bunches of that.
Yeah, and that's what happened. Like, by the time that he did that the second time, it was like, okay, now, you know, you've lost too much here. You're mined out of a bunch of your bases. It's hard to rebuild all that.
When Zerg's turtling with lurkers, they normally don't have very much else.
Yeah.
Especially if they're making structures and turtling. I mean, it costs
it's
so
tricky
much
to play it right. And we saw even Lucero was having like a hard time with it, but he definitely had more mastery of the strategy than Armani, I would say. But Creator played very well also, I do have to say. Like, he stayed on track with his strategy. He did some good harassment. He defended well against the bathing drops for sure. It was nice stuff. Definitely looked a lot better than that first game.
Yeah, we can definitely agree on that. We see the probe scouting in here. Note that he went for a gateway right away here. Wants to really put on some more of that pressure. Now, in fairness, we have seen Creator with some pretty subpar adept control, both in game 1 and in game 2. Let's see how he does this time around, but frankly, and I don't want to be too hard on these guys, but out of all the games I've casted at Protoss, he's probably had the worst adept control.
It could be.
Also, not too heavily reliant on that unit. We've seen a lot of other players mass adepts. He seems to want to play a much more traditional game.
Yeah, and hasn't that always really been his MO? This guy was always like the 2-forge Protoss that wanted to play longer macro games.
Very true.
And then, like, kind of during his down period for the last few years, he's been like mixing more cheeses and stuff. It's good to see him grow as a player, but he's never found the same stride he had as when macro Protoss was the thing to do.
Yeah, he definitely wants to play Protoss in a certain way, whether or not that's the best way to approach it. A little bit different from Hero, who has just like such a different way of approaching matchups and games in a best of 5. Nicely done. Is he going to get the second drone before he has to shade out? Nope.
Oh, looks like it does force that one to go ahead and morph into a Spore. Still some good scouting going on. To pick off even one is nice. Making some lost mining time, some canceled buildings and whatnot. Second Adept does come down. And Oracle is almost done as well.
Yeah,
I don't see any Spores started.
Yeah, he might be a bit exposed here.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just going to stay back with this. And we now see the third base being taken very quickly. We have 2 Adepts going to shade in here.
Oh, wow, this is really, really nice. The 4 drones trying to get away. Going to start picking them off.
You know, if he can get a good angle here, especially when the Oracle comes in here. Here we go. Now is he going to try to help the Adepts out? Again, not the best Adept control we've seen so far. Nice job, though, taking out another worker. However, this Adept will be picked up. Again, see the Adept control. It's just not... even having it stop moving, I know it was pretty futile. The idea of that Adept actually getting away, but... yeah, it just doesn't seem like he's that comfortable with that unit.
I have to also say that the Oracle stopping to help, like, I like those types of moves. I think they're really cool. That time it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Like, he could have gone somewhere because there was no Spores. He didn't know, of course, that there was no Spores anywhere. But if your opponent has 1 queen at that third base, that probably means they don't know that Oracles are coming because they would have 2 there if they don't have a Spore there.
Nice job here by Crater. He does spot this drop, but he doesn't have very much to help defend it. This is one of the dangers of Protoss when they end up getting, I don't want to say too greedy, but you're taking 3 bases at once. There's going to be some spot you're going to be exposed, and the Zerg can come in there and exploit that.
Well, this is a lot of damage, to be honest. 5 probes and this much, 6 probes now, and this much lost mining time from having to run around. This has been a fantastic drop for Armani.
This is actually great. I mean, this might set Zerg up to have a really powerful follow-up timing attack here on that third base. Even getting the pylon here, that's great. All right, he's going to have to go for probes now. Just focus these down on as many more workers as you can get. Man, it looks like this is finally going to come to an end. Or did I speak too soon? Now, oh, very nice.
More links coming up, but plenty of defense there, and Oracle as well as the Mothership Core.
Yeah.
That was a lot of probes. That was really nice by Armani, who now is about to have a layer up. Roach Warren being added on, getting that melee attack once again. Doesn't necessarily mean he'll go for Banelings and Baneling drops and whatnot, but definitely could.
Lings coming down now, trying to destroy these rocks. And the Oracle, once again, just poke it in here. We do see the Spire tech beginning to happen.
I do like that Spire tech a lot here.
Me too.
You know, there really hasn't, like, he's already seen an Oracle. He's forced a Void Ray out. You know, he doesn't know exactly what the strategy is going to be, but the Spire was a cool, and he cancels it, of course. But
okay.
I did like it. I thought it was a really...
I thought it was good. Let's also see how these Adepts actually do when they come up over here. This is the first time we've seen him actually go for heavy Adept usage. Now the Lings are going to try to get a surround over here. That's the way you want to do it, to get inside that little corner there.
Yeah.
The Lings can't get that surface area, and by the time it happens, it's too late.
Oh, man, a lot of drones starting to go down right now. The Lings coming in and dealing what damage they can, but, oh, that is such a tight area to try to fight against them in.
And he's just going to bring him in over here. Okay. Not quite clogging that up, so the Lings do get some more good surface area. But still, he just needs to target down as many workers as he can. So tough for Zerg to deal with this.
Yeah. And, you know, you're right. It was a little bit off in the microwave. That was a little bit more clogged up. He gets a few more Lings there before he dies. Just a small thing. Not something that's necessarily going to cost him the game. He got 11 drones. It was still very nice. Yeah, we do have the Robo on the way. Double Starport Phoenix pumping them out. Should be seeing Charge starting pretty quickly as that Twilight finishes.
Yeah, that Robo Bay is moving along now. So we're going to see some more Immortals in this as well.
In this game,
go ahead.
In this game, instead of going into Lurker, instead we do see Armani going ahead and just grabbing Hydralisk speeding range. So, gonna stay on those lower tech units.
It does seem like if Protoss throws away too many units or isn't playing clean, a lot of times Hydras with Roaches and Lings can just do it. You've got a big army. Protoss are less sentry heavy now. So you can actually come in and start bashing down the entrance and just overpowering the Protoss. I mean, in Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty as well, it was so much more dependent on Protoss reconfiguring how the Zerg was allowed to engage. If Protoss didn't have sentries, then you just would always lose against Zerg if they had enough.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
It seems like the matchups changed a little bit here in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting on that. Like, for instance, charge lots are more powerful. The Adept, a new unit, is very strong. The Photon Overcharge, you can get a lot of them going off at the same time. Immortals have been changed, so that they're actually better against Hydras now in a lot of ways. Well, in every way, they're better against Hydras than they used to be. But yeah, it's very interesting the ways that this matchup has changed around.
Looks like he might actually try to push in here onto this third base. Moving up just a little bit. Note this army is tagged. I'm not sure if Armani cares about that. And he's just going to try to take down these rocks over here. Got to be careful, man. Corrosive Bile can be fired down here pretty effectively. He can even do it in such a way that if he wants to break this, he can. And yeah, one of the moments we're actually seeing Corrosive Bile just used to nullify any strength that force fields might have. He could just eventually drain out the remaining energy here on these sentries and probably push up and do a ton of damage.
Yeah, but we do have all those Phoenixes with a ton of energy sitting up there. And as this engagement actually comes, once the rest of his army is attacking into this Zerg, I think we're going to see those Phoenixes come down and really do some damage to what Armani has.
Okay, well, we're still waiting for them to come down now. Getting closer and closer, almost taking out this pylon cannon. And now he's in the position he wants to be in. But the Phoenixes do come.
All right, they're going to pick up these Hydras so quickly and just wipe them out. And now up to go the Ravagers as well.
Great pickups here.
Yeah, that was some real patience with these Phoenixes.
Just baiting the Zerg in. Zerg eventually felt like, okay, I've got this, I can just commit. And once he dives in like that, look at this. Supplies are actually now even. A little bit ago, Artosis, Armani was way ahead of Crater in supply. Really well done. And also, this is great, too, taking a quick fourth base. Now, remember, the fourth base on this map, whether you're Zerg or Protoss, is actually pretty far away.
Yes.
So it's not easy to set up. So this is the ideal time right now for Creator to move out and take that expansion.
And I love the one that he took. We see so many Protosses take that one on the left, which turns into a base trade scenario a lot of the time. But I think I actually heard you mention on SSL about how this base over here, he's already attacking down this way. Why not expand this way as well?
Yeah.
This is absolutely something that I agree with. I love to see this because Zerg is almost every time taking that fourth in the bottom because it's closer, and that's the way Zerg needs to kind of function. So for him to expand there and then have that attack and defense route be the same, I think that's great for Creator.
Yeah, this is smart. He also is able to put the two bottom right bases under threat. He can put Zerg into a very uncomfortable spot. So I really like how Creator's handled this all so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Both are getting very close to maxing out. Zerg looks like he's regrouping. Does Zerg actually know about the center right base? I don't know if he actually scouted it.
Yeah, I believe he did.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong on that. Okay, well, Roach was just up there, so at least now he knows if he didn't before.
There seems to be something going up there. I don't know if he has it on his mini-map, but definitely the amount of attention this place is getting.
Yeah.
The fact there's been enough Protoss stuff over there.
And he has to know that Creator wants a fourth base by now. All right, well.
Fifth base, yeah. I mean, he's going to eventually... Oh, yeah, excuse me, fourth base. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Like seventh base.
Seventh base. No,
sixth
base. Let's just agree on sixth base, okay? Like, come meet me in the middle here. We have the attack coming down now.
Oh, he's got to be careful. He's already used up his charge. Okay, there you go. Nice. Ice Storm goes down. Eats quite a bit of that.
Note that Zerg's being very patient here.
Got to be careful about letting your charge lots charge into 2 or 3 units.
Yeah, then you have slow lots coming down after that. Nice storms, though, pushing Zerg back.
Yeah, really quite nice storms.
It's actually 180 to 150 right now in supply, so he's taking out a lot of that army.
Yeah. There's not a lot of hope here for Armani at this point. There are just so many Protoss units here. The Army of Creator is really, really strong.
Yeah, and I think he's actually done it. He's going to smash this fourth base, and that's going to be Zerg on 3 bases, which is terrible.
Yeah, he doesn't
to a Protoss on 4. In fact, these drones can't even get out. GG. Creator wins game number 3.
All right. Very well done.
Better player normally does win in a best of 5.
Yeah.
We saw Creator off to a rough start, but he's slowly making those adjustments, slowly getting more comfortable.
He is.
And it seems like Armani's been downloaded, man.
Yeah. Sometimes we do see these massive attacks work on Protoss third bases. I don't I don't like them so much because I feel like you're waiting for Protoss to screw up or be way too greedy to make them work. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Creator was. The thing is, he kind of baited him, like you were saying. Like, he
Yeah.
didn't show those Phoenixes, but shouldn't Armani look at that and be like, where is everything else?
Well,
like, shouldn't you have a
I think
little bit
that-
more than this?
I think that when this, when these builds were initially coming out, a lot of Zergs were blindsided. A lot of Zergs probably felt like they were just in the dark. It's hard to read what Protoss is doing. They have a lot of options, but it's become so standard to go for that tech route. I think you're just supposed to assume. You know?
Yeah.
If you don't see anything else, then that's what's going on.
Yeah. I think you could be right about that.
That's my take on it, at least so far. We're actually going into game number 4. Rockshear.
GSL Taslas will be casting this one for you.
That's my orc name. Taslas. Or Tassels, depending on...
Tassels.
Tassels, yeah.
That's your nickname.
All right, let's do this. Game number 4. Let's go. In the upper left in the blue, he is.
진에어 그리닝스 크리에이터.
In the bottom right in the red, he is.
삼성 갤럭시 알마니.
All right.
Alrighty. Tosis.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
We should cast the game like this in deep voices.
Oh, I think that we could cast the whole game
We
like
could
this.
cast like this.
Maybe another day, though, because I lost my voice recently, so...
You could have the sick voice and I could have the epic voice.
Free pizza. Or free StarCraft 3 free pizza. Who wouldn't want to be here? I mean, that's true.
He's
right.
Everyone wants to be here.
Nobody can argue that.
Ah.
Nobody can really disagree with that. Someone might be like, you know, there are other statements you could say like that. For instance, is the sky is blue? No, not in Seoul. It's pretty much gray or white. But free pizza and free GSL,
Yeah.
you would probably want to be here.
Will the sun rise tomorrow? We don't know. But we do know that tonight
Yeah.
there was free pizza and free StarCraft 2 at GSL.
There's no way to know, if the sun's going to rise tomorrow.
I mean, probably, yeah. We have, like, lots of evidence saying, like, most
Betting
likely.
man, I'd say yes.
But, yeah, no, I mean, I would totally bet on that. But I already know for a fact. I know truer than the sun will rise tomorrow that we had free pizza here tonight and free StarCraft 2.
Magnets. You can't explain that shit, right? Nobody can explain that,
No,
right?
that's-
Nobody knows how they work. But we do know this, is that GSL and free pizza is basically the way to go. You know, we have enough viewers here. There's going to be at least one guy who's like, we actually do know how magnets work. God, so stupid.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Nobody knows how that works.
It's a theory,
It's
friend.
a theory, guys. Okay, third base coming up here. Got a little marker. That's where you want to put it. Mm-hmm. In case you weren't sure.
The 2 little diamonds, put it right there.
Yeah, just plant this on the diamonds. That's what they're there for.
We'll have to see what a creator wants to go for. I wouldn't be surprised if he mixes it up a little bit. Maybe like a Twilight coming up instead of a Stargate. It's a possibility. No, never mind.
No, nice try, Artosis.
Oh, jeez.
Stargate, boys. Let's do this.
I'm just wondering where he's going to take his fast third base because it's like this map gets a little bit scarier. Like
Well, this map, the bases are actually much more spread out. If you notice throughout all of our GSL maps, there's some maps where you're tighter together and then other ones where you're further out. We pretty much have every kind of map. In a way for this, so that you know, there's different burdens on the Zerg and the Protoss as they operate in this matchup on each map.
Well, it looks like Armani going to be tearing down those rocks very quickly. We can hear those Zerglings going to work. Of course, you do have to wall on that front ramp. He's going to have to kill those rocks eventually to take his own third, which is kind of annoying, but has to be done.
There's actually a Protoss statue around those flags, Artosis.
Oh, man.
That's you.
Well, Rackshear sounds like it's some sort of Protoss thing.
It certainly is. Until the Zerg came and took over it.
That's
Did
right.
you ever play the Legacy of the Void single player? I
Not
haven't
yet.
played it yet. Yeah,
Not yet.
Sam, I went right on a multiplayer.
Yeah, I will play it. I don't know when exactly, but relatively soon.
Are you going to stream it, Artosis?
Yeah, I am going to stream it.
I loved watching you stream the Wings of Liberty single player.
Because I played that like years after everyone else.
Yeah, you were like the last. You were like the last person to play the Wings.
I was the last
I was
e-gamer to play Wings of Liberty.
E-gamer. I was watching with JP McDaniels.
Oh yeah.
We were on Skype and we're like, oh my god, he's gonna lose on the last level. And we're like watching.
Yeah, I lost there several times.
Yeah, we're like, oh my god,
it was
he's
actually
gonna
pretty
lose.
tough.
Yeah, no, it's
especially since I was trying to win with only Marines on that last level. And then I tried a couple other things. I'm like, no, you know what? Screw it. Marines are the best. And then I just made more Marines. And
these things can be healed. They have stim.
Yeah.
And they can hit air and ground. I mean, they're
like,
pretty much the best
you have
unit in the game.
Storms. I don't care. That's fine.
That's fine.
Psy Storms will stop Marines in my PVTs. But yeah,
okay.
that was fun.
Third Nexus.
Heart of the Storm was really easy, though. I had no problems beating that
I did
in no
not
time.
have any difficulty in Heart of the Storm. It was so easy, I was kind of shocked. And now the spores are coming down.
So he has taken this third base. It's like later than you normally will see a Protoss take it a lot of the time.
A little bit safer,
do those
though.
rocks, but yeah, it's so much safer because of that. And that kind of, I like the approach he's taken. He's not like just making a Nexus be like, oh god, I hope no Ling's coming.
Here we
Cancel
go. Crosses his fingers and covers his eyes and plants the Nexus. We have a good number of Phoenixes going around. So far, Creator is effectively traded. Creator does seem to be playing better in every game as we continue on in this best of 5.
Yeah, he's really warming up, isn't he? And with, just the one Stargate Phoenixes this time, he's getting a quicker robo here. Interested to see what he wants to do with this quicker robo. Haven't seen, we haven't really seen in GSL people going for, disruptors or anything like that.
Oh, my God. Okay.
What just happened?
He just canceled the Nexus.
Oh, my God.
I don't even understand what happened. It was in the same spot, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know. I mean,
Yeah.
it wouldn't even go anywhere because there's pylons in the way. I think he was trying to... Was he trying to cancel something else? And
I'm not sure. I thought for just a second we were going to see
What?
one of those old school builds where they canceled the Nexus and then did the all-in.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works anymore, really.
No,
It's
probably
kind of
not.
a passe build, but then I saw him do it, and then I saw him remake it, and then, oh my god. So an even later third base here.
Really weird. I think he wanted to cancel whatever that... I think he was building a cannon that he wanted to cancel and screwed up.
That's frustrating.
That's the amount of bad that is, because this actually makes his Nexus a minute 30 later than it was supposed to be, and it was already late.
Yeah, it's really bad, man.
Or maybe not a minute 30, but a good minute later than...
Let's settle on a minute 15, Artosis.
Okay.
How about that?
We'll
Minute
go with
15 later. He is going to come around, though, trying to get this base. Actually, you know what? He can actually gun down this hatchery right before the Roaches and Hydras
force
get there.
fields, and might not even need those force fields.
No, he doesn't even need it.
I just
and
recall.
Goodbye. Very good job there.
Yeah, that's a big pickoff. But the thing is,
guys.
Armani doesn't feel quite as stupid about that as Creator does for canceling his own Nexus. Oh, man, that's so rough. If he ends up losing this game, that's definitely a big part of it. So
we may see a follow-up attack here from Protoss trying to pressure once again onto that gold base.
Yeah, definitely could be.
This is really where you actually have to stop Zerg. If Zerg gets that gold base, and it's much harder for Protoss to get the gold base in the same territory.
Yeah, and I think he's going to want to be out on the map anyways because he's going Disruptor Blinkstalker. This is a very different type of composition, and you want to be kind of micro around. This is like a death ball composition once again, and you kind of want to be pushing them and then utilizing your Blinkstalker's force fields and whatever, and then throwing out occasional Disruptor balls so that they kind of either they get hit. Or they have to do a retreat in some area with their army, and you get some free shots, and you get some space and whatnot. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, he's going to come down now. Pretty scary Zerg-sized army. Protoss is going to have to defend this properly. And the Disruptor comes out. Oh! Nice play there. Actually connecting that beautifully there on those two Ravengers. But still, the Zerg army does press forward.
Oh, nice shot there with the second one as well.
Yeah.
Took a lot of damage on that first one, it looks like. Wants to keep this Nexus alive. It looks like the Hydra's coming in and actually attacking the army. He has to back out of here. I don't think he's going to break this, right? The Disruptor shots are almost back up.
Well, the Phoenixes are coming back now, so I think he can actually just full-on engage this, right? Well, I guess there's a ton of Roaches.
That gateway is actually kind of in his way a little bit. But
it's kind of annoying.
He needs to get a couple more Disruptor shots out now. He does have a third one that just came out as well.
Nice connection there. Very safe Disruptor play. And here we go again on top of these Roaches. Yeah, he's just slowly shaving this off. The Nexus is low. Maybe he could try to left click on the Nexus.
Yeah, he should try to finish it off, like throw Crucify.
Okay, he gets it. I think we have to see Protoss counterattack now.
Yeah.
That's like the only way.
Oh, he loses one of his disruptors, and this is actually really smart from Romani with his last few units, trying to pick them off. Gets one.
Okay. He has to counter, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, he has to hit that gold base.
And
he absolutely 100% has to go kill that gold base right now.
Is he going to do it? Okay, yeah, he's moving out now.
Yeah, no, I think he
I
might
thought,
be able to
those
do
were
it
Phoenixes
too.
on
Like,
the map for a second. That's actually his Stalkers coming.
Blink Stalker Disruptor is like
You might as
pretty
well
good.
call it Blink Stopper Artosis.
Yeah, Blink Stop your fourth base.
Yeah, Blink stop you from having a gold base, Brosa.
What?
He's going to keep attacking forward now. The Disruptors... Wait, where is his Disruptors? He didn't send that with
He
it at
left
all?
them at home.
That's strange.
Huh.
Huh.
Maybe he's afraid. The thing is, if he loses the Disruptors, the game will end. Like, he has to keep those alive now.
Artosis, if Zerg gets his gold base for much longer, the game will also end.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
I think he needs to throw everything at him.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think he should have brought those at the first place.
I think you have to commit. Also, that gold base area, there's not a lot of room for roaches and everything else to actually move out of the way of the Disruptor. It's actually a pretty clunky part of the map.
Certainly, and with 3 sentries in here, I mean, that's definitely going to make a difference as well.
Oh.
A couple roaches that one.
Oh my god, really nice job connecting with these Disruptors. Beautiful play. Creator continuing to push forward. He's still got plenty of force fields available. Oh, that was money.
Oh, very cool. Getting a lot
So
of drones
good.
there.
So good. All right, he's going to get ready with these Disruptors again, looks like.
Yeah, they should be on cooldown.
He
just
almost
not now.
doesn't even need them.
Yeah, you really want to save him until you're actually going to get a good shot or you need to zone. But he does snipe this gold base. That's very, very important. Still, Zerg has a pretty decent economy here on 3 bases with the 5th base, which will now be the 4th, up to the north.
There was a counterattack here. We're catching the tail end of this. I don't believe it's going to be too impactful this game. Maybe he gets that pylon, maybe not.
Oh my god.
How does that even happen?
No.
Oh my god.
That is such a big deal that he got those. Now, the gold base is already dead. He already killed so many units. That is not necessarily going to lose Creator the game, but that was pretty bad. Like,
yeah, no kidding.
Game was pretty unlosable.
This is a bit of a seesaw game here. It looks like we might actually have the Zerg start coming up here.
Lurkers on the way.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Those Disruptors would have been pretty useful against the Lurkers. Stalkers die to Lurkers so badly, you can't even think about fighting them. Oh,
well,
man,
he might
just
not have any
used his blink.
Stalkers here
God.
anyways. He's probably going to try to blink up onto the high ground here. There you go. That'll give you a few more seconds of your life, Stalkers.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, Creator's playing well, and then he's just kind of...
Well,
he just throws it, man.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big mistake. It's just like a pathing error where he clicked a certain way and the Disruptors kind of like turned and went behind the minerals, and Armani immediately jumped on that. But that's like something that absolutely has the potential to cost him the game here.
Everything's coming up now. He's pretty good with those Disruptors, by the way. He's actually always making good connections with them.
Yeah, it seems so. Look at this, just walking up, feeding units into here, and that is a lot of Lurkers.
You know, I think if he gets the right surround here, he might be able to actually take out this army.
Right, Lurkers are a little bit spread. The Roaches not really giving them much beef on top right now.
Sometimes I wonder if it's better to blink one Stalker on top to try to bait out the next Lurker volley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that there's going to be really sophisticated micro against Lurkers in the future as we get more used to them.
Wait, is he actually going to go back? He's like moving this the Stalker army back and forth like he's not sure what he wants to do.
Oh, you know what? Dark Templar's actually warping in right now. There's no detection here, is there?
Oh, yeah, look at that. That's great.
Yeah, and he's going to head off any... well, I don't know why he's fighting Lurkers while the DTs are killing everything. But
yeah, that doesn't make too much sense.
I feel like he should have stood a little bit further back to get the units as they retreated.
Also not sure why these Stalkers were actually headed into the direction the reinforcements were coming in.
Ooh. There's a little bit of roughtitude in this game.
Yeah, man. Zerg is not aware of the fact that Protoss has taken the bottom left. Really weird back and forth game. Kind of odd engages. I'm even surprised Zerg was attacking that base specifically. There were hardly any minerals there.
Well, yeah, I think it has more to do with like, okay, this is the place I can hit right this second. You know, in fact, that's where some of the tech was and like some of the gates. I think a robo was down there too. Yeah, he's rebuilding the robo. So it's kind of a okay place to hit, I guess, even though it's like mined out.
Protoss now coming down here. It seems like Zerg is caught on to the fact that there's no. In fact, Zerg's going to take on the center left base up here, seemingly unaware of what else is going on in the bottom left. And it's a pretty sizable army, pretty good unit composition here. No real easy way for Protoss to actually engage this.
Yeah, this is really bad right now. He's making Archons, which aren't like the best unit against this, but he's got to make something. And
there it is, GG. We're going to go to game number 5.
Okay,
cool.
He is really kicking himself for those 3 disruptors getting caught, because that attack that he ended up losing so many units on defending, with 3 more disruptors, it looks so different defending that. So different. Like, he probably stomps it. Look how frustrated he is with himself.
Well, you got to be salty after a game like that.
Oh, man.
Neither player was playing spectacularly. A lot of hiccups. That could always
down
make
a dirty
for
game.
It could always make for a much more exciting game when you have that. It's not always about the perfect play. It's about the drama. It's about the back and forth.
Yeah.
I think it's anybody's game at this point in time.
And guys, these are both players that are within the top, like, 60 to 80 StarCraft players in the world. So it's
easily.
Like, when we say sloppy, we're comparing them to, like,
the greatest. The
literal, like, top 15.
All right. Time for our final map in this best of 5. Our final map in this entire broadcast. After this game, we will be crowning the final player who's won their best of 5 today.
Will we have another Zerg or another Protoss joining into the CodeA? So far, we've had 4 Protosses qualified plus the 2 from preseason, whereas only 5 Zergs total have qualified. So, Ruins of Saras is the next map. Definitely could go either way on this map. It's a big one. Takes a while to attack across.
All right, guys, tell your friends to join us here for our final game. Armani versus Creator. Tied up 2-2 right now. And by the way, what a spectacular day it's been today. Lots of good games.
Yeah.
We're continuing to get better and better, man. This is going to be our third best of 5, going on to game number 5. How cool is that? Pretty cool, Tasteless. Yeah, I know, Artosis. Okay. In the upper left, our Protoss player. He is
지네어 그리닝스 크리에이터.
A lot of people followed this guy back early on in StarCraft 2, one of the best Protosses out there. Now he's back here fighting in GSL. In the upper right, in the red.
삼성 갤럭시 알마니.
And our Zerg player also looking like a formidable opponent right now for Creator. We've had close games all day. If you're just now joining us, check out the VODs, man. All the games today were great.
Yeah, I've quite enjoyed today. We've had a couple really epic ones.
Yeah.
It's been a good day of CodeA. I would not recommend Game 1 of True vs. Symbol, though. I thought that was pretty...
But you know what? The series overall was great.
Yeah,
it went
the
from
series
short
was quite
and
nice.
action-packed. You know, it got more and more complex as each game moved on. There was really basic strategies early on. There wasn't a whole lot we could play with as far as, theory crafting. But by the end, man, the base trade in the very last game, so worth checking out.
Totally. That was a really fantastic game. That might have been the best of the night, in fact.
Yeah, I think it was pretty hard to top that one. So Protoss actually gets the first scout off. His opponent is in the upper right.
Yeah, gets to see right away what he's dealing with here.
This normally means
very normal build.
This normally means that Zerg is going to be expanding to the bottom, away from Protoss.
Yeah, it might come to a head before the 4th or 5th base, but we'll see what Creator actually wants to go for strategically here. This is one of the closer spawns. Of course, if they're like top left, bottom right, it's kind of funny because it's like so far away.
Yeah.
So much time to prepare
how,
for your opponent attacking you.
So much room for counterattacks as well.
It's really quite a gigantic map.
I do like that we have some of these tighter, smaller maps, and then some of these big, massive open maps.
I like our map pool.
I do too.
The Sky Shield and Raksha I haven't really played. I just had to watch those. They aren't on the ladder or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I like quite a few of these maps.
I think the maps in StarCraft 2 have actually been getting better and better.
Yeah. The one thing I really don't like is on 4-player maps is the randomness in the scouting. That's the only thing, like, when I ladder, I get so angry.
It doesn't bother me as much. I guess I'm just used to it. But I think definitely if you're playing for like, money, you know? It's like, oh, man, that's really unfortunate. But, you know, that's the nature of it. You know, there are many more strategies you can do if you have, you know, maps with different numbers of starting locations. By the way, great job in controlling these drones.
Yeah, and good job by Creator as well, I have to say. Just the fact that he has been able to, you know, force a couple extractors and lost mining time and whatnot, a few lost minerals here and there. Good usage of these Adepts.
Now, is he going to commit with these Adepts? I would hope not. We've seen Creator already overextend multiple times with his Adepts. Okay, good. He does not. He's getting better and better each game.
Yeah. Some strong play here. We do have that Oracle about to pop out. A little bit less damage than what we saw previously.
And these Adepts go back home as Protoss continues on teching upward.
All right, we do have the Oracle flying across the map now. Spores on the way. They might be just slightly late. No, they're pretty well timed.
Let's see. Yeah, last time the Spore was like popping out the exact second that the Oracle got there. They're pretty close. And it looks like, yeah, these are literally would have gotten done the moment that the Oracle had arrived there if the Oracle were to make a beeline to that base.
Yeah, it looks like only the main one is a little bit slow. The other two were perfectly timed, though.
Good decision-making here by Creator to actually come up there.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit of a guess, but worked out well, getting 3 drones. In the meantime, he wants to take his third base, but not quite able to yet.
Yeah, we saw the pylon canceled there. I'm assuming he is eventually going to go down, though, and remake that Nexus. Got to be careful. Don't want to overextend with his Oracle. The longer you can keep that alive, the better. You can poke in, check how many drones they're making, what kind of tech they're using. Yeah,
it's really important that you don't lose this because you're going to want it to tag things as well, and even sometimes use stasis wards. Those definitely can be useful, especially if a lot of the Lings have been cleaned up and a more roach-heavy army's moving across the map. Then you catch some real valuable units.
So in this matchup, we've seen a lot of 3-base timings here from Zerg where they mass up a good amount of Lings and Roaches and Ravengers and try to attack into the Protoss' third, oftentimes to great effect. Are we going to have it this time? Let's wait and see. But it's certainly been one of the more common trends so far in ZVP.
Yeah, definitely could see it here as well. There's definitely a decent amount of surface area that you can utilize there if you want to go for such a strategy. But, we don't have Creator really, quote-unquote, wasting money on Phoenixes. The fact that he's skipping that is allowing him to get out his other tech a lot quicker here, which means that he'll have a more formidable ground army, so anything like that maybe doesn't have as high a chance of working.
Lings are going to try to penetrate the main. Zealot. Oh, I was about to say, I didn't think it was in the right spot. He actually slips in there, though. This is a huge problem. Now the probe's inside the main. Going to be taking a lot of damage, unnecessary damage, to be honest. Look at that Zealot placement, man. That's pretty fugly.
Yeah, it's a bit off for sure.
Yeah, and now he's going to try to just get this over here, this pylon, and take this out, possibly before the Warpit finishes, and he does get it.
What type of pylon was that, Tasteless?
That's a tough one. I'd say our control pylon. That's your guy's Archon.
I thought you were a bro, but you're not.
Right. We can make it an in control pylon if you want.
There we go.
The Spire is coming along here, just a little bit under halfway done.
Yeah, now this is great that Armani is completely on top of the fact that this is not any sort of Phoenix play going on, and I think he has a good chance of actually just catching Creator here. Creator's going into charge. He is adding a Stargate now, but that is one Phoenix only?
Well, he's pulling him for the time being.
Okay, he actually scouts
he sees
this.
It. Good job there.
All right, could definitely see him skipping on that Spire tech for a little bit.
We have seen Corruptors using this matchup as well.
Yeah,
can be quite effective. Got to be careful, though, because already Protoss has a good amount of Void Rays here. Uh-oh, don't want to lose this Oracle. Oracle tags and then retreats.
He still goes 10 mutas.
Well, it's possible that Protoss just assumes after it's scouted that Zerg definitely won't go mutas.
Yeah, and you know what else? He might actually just hit the army is what might happen.
Yeah,
and he has +1 on these Lings.
Also, there might not be enough mutas. to handle, or excuse me, enough Phoenixes to handle the Mutas. If he comes in at just the right angle.
I think he's about to have 5 right now. But yeah, I mean, if the Mutas come in and help clean up a little bit, there's not a lot of anti-air with the actual army. Maybe that works out well for him.
Zerg doing a great job expanding continuously here. And, the Phoenixes are not, at least for now, with the army. So, if he starts off with a favorable engagement, he can clean up that ground army and then just try to get back out, perhaps.
Well, here he goes. He's actually going into the match.
Okay, now this is not what I expected. All right, I don't even know. We spent a lot of